Hi, this is Amelia from AmeliaAJohnson.com, where passionate pet people partner with purpose for fun and profit. Do you stress out over the health and care of your pet? If so, be sure to subscribe to this channel because I am going to give you the first part of a 5-point checklist that I have put together that I have learned over my decades of being a pet professional. So have you subscribed? Here we go. We all want to live in a moment with our pets and eliminate the fear we have of whether we are exercising enough, feeding them enough, getting them socialized and trained, and all of those different aspects. But today I want to talk about the first point so that you can really enjoy your life with your pet and live in a moment. Just enjoy every moment. So here's the slight edge aspect of living with your pet, where it's just doing one thing more for your pet that makes a difference. I want you to think about who is the primary caregiver for your pet. Is it you? Do you have another person that can care for your pet that you trust in case you become ill or you have to travel? So that's the first point. Who is the primary caregiver? Write it down. Secondly, who financially supports your pet? You know, vet bills are astronomical today when you have a pet emergency. Or perhaps you're like me and you take extra special care of your pet by going to a holistic vet who offers you more modalities such as acupuncture, chiropractic, homeopathic remedies, NAET, and supplements that a traditional vet does not always provide. So again, think, who is your pet's financial supporter? Do you have pet insurance to help with that financial support? And that's a whole nother topic. Thirdly, who are your pet's trainers? You can have many trainers in one household and totally confuse your pet. Maybe you don't allow your pet up on your furniture, and I'm talking dogs and cats here. You know, cats are counter surfers, dogs can be too, especially American Eskimos that have that great agility aspect to them and they can really leap to high levels. Many people have come home and found their dogs on the counters as well as their cats. So who is training your pet? Do you go to just one training class when they're young as a puppy and then feel that they're trained? They're not. This should be continual. And if you don't have time because you're working, that's okay. There are plenty of online trainers now that offer positive reinforcement training methods. So you can be happy training your dog. And perhaps you just want to do trick training with your dog. That exercises your dog's brain in case you don't have time to actually get out and walk with your dog, or have a big yard that's fenced in where you can exercise your dog. And again, when it comes to exercise, just because you have a fenced yard doesn't mean your dog's going to go out there and run around. They want a playmate, and that playmate might have to be you. Okay, so we've talked about the primary caregiver, the financial support, who's training your dog, and the next one is, do you have the emergency contact listed everywhere? In your home, with your pet sitter, perhaps a babysitter, with your relatives, in your car? Do you know who that emergency contact would be? It's not always a veterinarian. If you're on the road, who would somebody contact if you were in an accident and your car was traveling with you? Who would take care of that pet? That's so important. Pets get lost when accidents happen. So think about who your emergency contact is. Next is, who grooms your dog? Are you capable of grooming your own dog? Truly you are, unless it's a huge dog that you just can't lift and manage. Or maybe your cat is temperamental and then you have to have a special groomer help you with your pet. So think about who you like as a groomer. Not only who you like, but is your pet liking that person well enough to behave for that person, to not have to be medicated in any way, tranquilized, and do they come home happy or are they stressed? It's okay if they come home tired, because unless you're getting your pet groomed often, they might have some extra work to do, and that requires time. So who is your groomer? And next is, who is your pet sitter? And don't think you don't need a pet sitter, because even if you work from home as I do, there may be times when you can't leave your pet home alone for extended periods. I had a pet sitting service for 18 years, and believe me, pet parents are very, very concerned about who's watching their pets, and you should be too. Is it a one-person pet sitting service you're using? Or do they have a backup pet sitter in case they get delayed, or they become injured, or they just can't make it to your home? So really evaluate the pet sitter that you're using. I had people hire me even though they had family members at home, whether it was a college student or a husband or a spouse, that type of thing, that just didn't want to deal with the dog, didn't want to walk the dog. Maybe they were too busy, maybe they didn't feel it was their responsibility. So think about who your pet sitting service is and really, really evaluate that closely. Are they bonded and insured? All right, so we've talked about the primary caregiver, the financial support for your pet, the trainers that you have for your pet that are positive reinforcement trainers, your emergency contact, your groomer, and your pet sitter. So, what if you have a dog that just isn't going to stay home alone, or maybe even a cat? Do you have a place where you can take them? Believe me, a vet's office is not always the best place to take your pet when you have to go away, because vets today do not have enough staff to really entertain your pet. So evaluate that too. Unless they are set up with a boarding kennel or a cattery, they're not prepared to entertain your pet. And what you will find is your pet will become stressed and anxious and perhaps start chewing on themselves. So before you ever use a kennel, make sure you have the vaccines updated to meet the kennel's requirement, and that usually has to be done 2 weeks before you leave. So always be prepared. You never know what emergency can come up and you have to leave town quickly. I am in the process of evaluating a new kennel myself. And now all of these things go through my mind. You know, will Gusto be cared for properly? Will he get the exercise he needs? Will he be stressed? A little bit of stress is okay because it's part of the growing process. But is that kennel prepared? Are they clean? Are they there? Some kennels don't even have people on site. So be aware of that. All right, and the last one that I want to point out today under who is your holistic vet or your traditional vet. Who is that person? Do you have more than one? You know, if I'm living in Maryland, then I use a conventional vet that doesn't have the extra training that a holistic vet does. and I'm willing to travel the 3 hours to go to a holistic vet. Because there are certain procedures, certain modalities that are necessary to keep Gusto in the great shape I want him to be in, to have fun, to really enjoy life, and to motivate me to get back into living my life with gusto. So this is the first part of the 5-point checklist that I am going to give you in this series. So again, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you get them all. And at the very end, I will give you a PDF checklist so that you can write out all of this if you're not taking notes now. So in review again, let me just go over very quickly the first point of the 5 points that you will want to have to make sure your pet is having a healthy, happy lifestyle and that you can live in a moment with your pet without stress. So very quickly, it is who is your primary caregiver, your financial supporter for your pet, the trainers that you use for your pet, the emergency contact numbers, where are they, who are they, your groomer, your pet sitter, your preferred kennel, and your vets. So I hope you found this information valuable to help you live a stress-free life with your pet. And again, subscribe to this channel so that you get the updates. Make sure you have the notifications on so that you have the updates for the next part in this 5-part series.